Hello everyone and welcome back to World Class Stamp. Today we're going to be going through the FIFA 23 Team of the Season for the Premier League. We're going to name the 1 to 11 and we'll give our opinions on who has made the World Class Stamp for this season's Team of the Year. So we'll kick it off. So in goal we have Aaron Ramsdale. How about you, Steve? Does Aaron Ramsdale get the World Class Stamp?
Definitely not. He is a good keeper, but he's not a top keeper that's going to win you a league. Clearly, as Arsenal didn't win the league, and he made some key mistakes there at the back end of the season. So not for me.
How about you, Matt?
Not world class stamp. He did put out some cracking saves during the season. I know he made some bloopers at the end, but he did make two outstanding saves. I think it was against Newcastle. Or yeah, or one of them. But yeah, not world class. I would have put a different keeper in myself.
Okay, I tend to agree there. I don't think he quite gets the world class stamp. He's got some good things going for him. Distribution. He looks a bit smaller than he actually is. He's actually quite tall. Yeah, I think as well he's come in with some key saves, but he's still young in his career, so he'll need to kind of eradicate some of those mistakes out, and he's got potential to be world class, but I don't think he's quite there yet. And the save from I think it was against Leicester, a free kick, Madison. He was like bending in
Yeah,
top
remember that.
corner, he shuffled along, really good positioning and quick line speed, and he managed to tip it onto the crossbar, I believe it was. So yeah, that's the goalkeeper. Doesn't quite get world class stamp from any of us for that one. So right back we got Kieran Trippier. Matt, I'll let you go first this time. Does Kieran Trippier get the world class stamp?
He's had an excellent season. He's got him in to that Champions League spot. I think he might have even played every game. I think he played at 38 appearances. I'm not sure if that was over League and Cup, but excellent season. I personally didn't think he would do as well as he did after coming back over here. When he joined back from Atletico, fantastic season. Not the world class stamp, but what a fantastic! Definitely deserves right back of the season.
Okay.
Definitely deserves to be in the squad.
Okay, Steve, how about you?
Yeah, that last comment there. I think he deserves to be that right back of the season. He's definitely a bigger fish in a small pond, if that makes sense. Not that Newcastle's a small pond, but Trippier feels like a big player.
Just made a
I,
lot of Geordies angry.
I'm gonna regret that. Massive club. Newcastle's an absolute massive club, but I just feel
Backtrack.
it was a great signing for them. He's had a great season. He took them to another level. He's consistent. He's a leader, and yeah, that's right back in the league this year, but doesn't get the world class stamp for me.
Yeah, I agree. Great addition to Newcastle's backline. Excellent set plays. Probably England's best right back right now, I would say. And yeah, so I think he's borderline world class stamp. I think it's really close. Uh,
Is it coming out? Why, I man? Is it coming out?
I think you've got to give it to him. You've got to give him the world class stamp, especially for this season. This season he is world class. I would say he improves a lot of. If you stick him into Liverpool side, he improves it. Stick him into Arsenal side, he improves it. Stick him into United side, he improves it. He could probably fit into a lot of European sides as well. And going by my definition, I think at the moment, maybe the past few seasons, he has been world class. So for me, he gets the stamp. Yeah. So
Great.
the next player, Ruben Diaz. What do you think about this guy? I think we've mentioned him on a previous episode, but world class stamp from me personally. How about you guys?
Yeah, same world class for me. He's young. He's edged out Laporte, and I thought Laporte was a great player and is a very good player. Diaz is just gone another level above him and has cemented that kind of number one centre back role in Man City. So he's operating at world class stamp levels, no doubt about it. I think I want to see a couple more seasons from him just to see that consistency. But the stamps in hand, like I say, the ink pad is wet, and I've no doubt he will get there. So deserves that spot.
Yep.
Okay,
We're going to run out of ink at this stage with this guy. Stamp, 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 stamp. Get him on. Easy. Job done.
world class stamp for Diaz. Okay, so his partner then, second best centre back in the league apparently, according to this, is Saliba for Arsenal. what are our thoughts on Saliba this season? Matt, we'll go with first.
Right. I'm going. It's be controversial. I'm gonna agree with this. I don't agree with much in this lineup, but I'm gonna
Go.
agree with this because you could argue that might have cost Arsenal the season. They were stretching 8 points clear, 9 points clear at one stage. Got injured. Arsenal fell off. No defensive stability. He was top, playing at top European level. Obviously, I haven't seen enough of him to give the world class stamp out yet, but I think I'm going to put him in. I'm going to put him in the squad.
Okay, I'd agree with your assessment there. Absolute rock for maybe 3/4 of the season for Arsenal. He definitely benefited from his loan outs to the French league. Come back, slotted into to Arsenal's lineup very well, and kind of key distribution up from the back. Holding come in, didn't really hold a candle to him. Pardon the pun. But I think you kind of Arsenal really missed his presence at the back, and I think he probably would have got them over the line and won them their title if he was fit for those remaining games. Because they were so far ahead. So for me, does he get the world class stamp? Yes, I would say so. Based on this season, he probably improves. He could probably go into Manchester City side, start Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, all the Newcastle, all the top teams. So for me, he gets the stamp. How about you, Steve?
Yeah, this one I had to really think about actually because I think the injury maybe skewed my assessment because he obviously hadn't played the full season. But I think I just want to jump into a point you made there, Anton, about the guy that came in to replace him, Rob Holding. To give an analogy, it's like from Saliba to Holding. It's like from a Rolls Royce to my VW Golf that needs 3 grand's worth of work just to get it back on the road. That was kind of the
A Rolls Royce to a sausage roll, but more like it, It's
it's unbelievable the amount of instability we had when he left the team. And I think Matt, you're right. He got injured in that European game that we lost. So we were winning games and then we lost that game. The mentality set in. He was injured. I said to a mate at the time, I said, I have no idea why he picked that team. With our, a couple of our strong 11 going out that European game. Should have forgot about the European competition, concentrated on the Premier League. And I think it certainly cost us a closer title run in. I'm not sure we still would have just about got there. I think City would have hunted Arsenal down. But yeah, he
if you think about
did
some
enough
of
to
their
get,
games,
get
though,
enough.
I mean, Arsenal was still scoring goals, right? So think about the Liverpool game 2-2, Southampton game 2-2, the West Ham game 2-2. That there's 6 points they probably wouldn't have dropped if Saliba was playing right off the bat there. I'd imagine his kind of defensive ability would have been able to squeeze out some more points. So I'm not sure what the final gap was. It could have been about 4 points or so, I think. But I think for me that would have been the decisive. But obviously you'll never know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Ramsdale was involved in a few of those games with his couple of bloopers. But you're right, he would have made a difference in those circumstances
The
in
parallels
some shape
that
or form.
spring to my mind is when Virgil van Dijk got injured, and it made Alisson look weaker. So I think having that strong centre back automatically raises the confidence level around your back four, including your goalkeeper, and there's less indecisiveness. So I think Ramsdale's more comfortable distributing to Saliba, and he knows he's confident on the ball. But where he looks up and he's got a Rob Holding in front of him. Sorry to rip on the guy, but it's not the same confidence levels. Might be trying a few more riskier passes into midfield, trying not to put the pressure on to a non-ball playing centre back. It's not a strength for him. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
think it definitely affected play style. And they did suffer with the injuries towards the end. That's the completing the back four. Surprise one, really. And that's Zinchenko at left back. So for me, I don't think he's the best left back in the league. He did have a really good start to the season, and he doesn't get the world class stamp from myself. Debatable whether he's the best left back at Arsenal. with Tierney there. He's a good little left back. Zinchenko's more attacking. I don't think he does enough of the defensive side of the game for me. But yeah, for me, he doesn't get the world class stamp. How about you, Steve? Thoughts on Zinchenko?
Yeah, I agree generally with what you're saying. I think it doesn't feel like he should be in that team of the year. He did have a few good performances, but we're talking a dozen tops, I think, over the season, really, that he was performing at a level where it was actually impacting the outcome of Arsenal's results or, affecting the game in a significant way. So then I think about left back options across the rest of the league. You've got the likes of Luke Shaw, I guess, a couple of City defenders that played left back, Ake, Akanji. They did cracking jobs when they played in those positions. Weren't always in those positions the whole season. Thinking names that have been good in the past, like Robertson, but he was nowhere near his levels this season. And I think maybe it was just one of those seasons where he kind of stood out in a poor crowd. So doesn't get a world class stamp. Don't really agree with it, but I'm not sure there's that many contenders.
Yep. How about you, Matt?
No, doesn't get it. He shouldn't be in the squad for me. There's he made a few bloopers in big games against Liverpool. I think he gave him he made a blooper at the back for him to get back into the game. And against Man City, I know they capitulated in the end anyway, but too many wrong decisions on the ball, too many defensive errors, especially in the top games. A good squad player maybe, but I don't think he should be regular left back for Arsenal. We'll just show Man City got rid of him in a sense, because he wasn't good enough for their squad. So you don't really want to be buying, off the second hand market, if you will, to your competitors. So just doesn't quite make it. He should have made the squad. You said he's touched on a few others, a few of the Man City boys. Could have gotten easy, and the left back for Brighton. I'll try and pronounce his name. Or does anyone else know how to pronounce it better than I do?
Yeah. So Pervis Estupinian. 35
Get a
appearances.
great back end of the season. Yeah.
35 appearances,
So
1 goal.
I would have put him in. Before Zinchenko easy.
Yeah, the Brighton left back, he had 35 appearances, 1 goal, 5 assists, 7 clean sheets in a Brighton side.
Estupinian.
Estupinian, yeah.
Estupinian. No.
I mean, there's Dan Burn as well. So not a
Dan
sexy
Burn.
player, just solid,
What is he
no
about?
nonsense.
6'20" at left back. He's just an absolute unit. Really, and for a while there, Newcastle had one of the most meanest defenses in the league, right? If we're talking about honourable mentions now, I think Nick Pope deserves a shout out for the goalkeeper as well. Made some unbelievable saves this season. I don't think you can look past Edison. And I think, but I suppose weirdly as well, you'd have to shout out David De Gea as well, because I think he won the Golden Glove. So he deserves to be in an honourable mentions list for sure. Okay, let's go into the midfield and another highly debatable area, but one that's not up for debate. We'll start off with is Kevin De Bruyne. So for me, world class stamp. Steve, thoughts on Kevin De Bruyne? I think we kind of covered him a lot, but these kind of top players are going to reoccur in our lists.
Yeah. I don't need to say any more about him. He's world class stamp. He's in. No question. Job done.
Matt, KDB.
Yeah, world class stamp. Vision, passing, goals, everything straight in. Stamp.
Okay, and alongside him, kind of doing the defensive dirty work, Manchester United's Casemiro. Bit of a shock signing from Real Madrid, I would have thought. Didn't think he was like needed to move on. Out of that midfield three of Casemiro, Modric, and Cruz, he was the youngest of the three, so I thought he would have stayed at Madrid. But a great signing. What were your thoughts on Casemiro, Matt?
Well, we talked about signing that changed the season. An injury that changed the season, which is Saliba at Arsenal. This one potentially boosted Man United into the top four. He had an impact. What can you say? He had a purple patch. He's got a few goals. set up a few,
Key goals as well, right?
dogged defense, can attack, good all rounder. Yeah, I think he deserves to be in their side.
Yeah, great little player, Casemiro. What were your thoughts, Steve, on
Yeah.
Casemiro?
When United signed him, I thought, geez, that's a lot of money for the age he was. I think he was 30 at the time. Um, in quite a shock signing, I think. I didn't expect him to be looking
Yeah,
elsewhere from Real Madrid. Like you say, he was in a trio of absolute world beaters, really solid across there. Could have gone on for the remainder of his career, really, at Real Madrid. But as Matt says, he definitely took United. He just seemed to galvanise that group of players. He's obviously a winner. Um, Joining Varane there, another winner, lots of experience, and I think the spine of that team, United, just seemed to double in strength as soon as he was dropped in that position. However, even though he was incredibly influential and did lift United through that season, he should be anywhere near that team. Um,
Snubbed.
wow.
um, Maybe that's a bit strong, but you can't look behind, you can't look beyond Rodri. Come on, Rodri, absolute, ah, unbelievable. He's taking his game to another level again. He's scoring goals, he's assisting, um, and scoring key goals and winning games as well. I know Casemiro scored goals that won games for United, but Rodri did it in even bigger games. So for me, it should be Rodri over Casemiro.
Hmm. And did he get the stamp or not? I don't think we did the stamp for Casemiro.
No.
Yeah, world class stamp for me. What his career, what he's won, he's been consistent. Yeah, 100%.
Matt, does Casemiro get the
Not,
World Class
not,
stamp?
no, not, no, on the cusp, but
Oh
not
my God.
world class. Not world class. On the cusp,
On the
but
cusp,
no.
what more does the guy need to do? 100% World Class stamp. Did he win, what, 5 Champions Leagues in a row for Madrid or something ridiculous? At least 3 in a row, but he might have won 5 over a few seasons. Probably Brazil's best defensive midfielder. Um, yeah, I think he's World Class stamp. Like you say, I think the only defensive midfielder in the Premier League that's had a better season than him is Rodri, just because of the amount of trophies he's won. And he doesn't Rodri doesn't always start every game as well. I think since I think I'd give Rodri the edge because he's a little bit cooler. Because I think he has cost United Casemiro with a couple of red cards, I believe. So yeah, he's got that kind of hot-headed temperament about him. But yeah, I think that just goes down to his desire to win games of football, right? But yeah, I think you can't really go wrong. 4 goals for United. Does he deserve to be in the team this season? Ooh, he's tight, but I can see why people voted him for that. Okay, so next up we got another Arsenal player, Martin Odegaard. As a resident Arsenal guy, Steve, what do you think on him? This player.
Yeah, so a little bit surprised with how he's done this year, actually. I rightly or wrongly compare him to previous players in his position at Arsenal, such as Mesut Ozil. Um, and he's still not for me at the level that Mesut Ozil reached. Clearly, he's younger, so he still has time. But yeah, what season the guy had. He was involved in pretty much everything that was good about Arsenal this season, and assists, goals. He may have even ended up top goal scorer for Arsenal. Certainly there or thereabouts with Saka, Martinelli. Quite a
I
few
think he
boys chipped
scored.
in.
Yeah, I think he scored one or two more than Saka.
He scored 15 goals in 37 appearances last season.
Yeah. So captain, yeah, a couple of games he pulled us through. Certainly games that we were losing as well. We went behind in. He had that knack of just galvanizing the team and driving us through to sometimes a draw, which is still important. Sometimes a win as well. And for his age, he's no doubt about it got the ability to be a firm, cemented, fixed, world class stamp player. He's had the season that would qualify, but he needs to put that back to back now. So yeah, deserves to be in the team of the year, no doubt.
Okay. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, he's had a fantastic season. Scored some great goals. He scored some goals, but some of them were, top class. He just makes the midfield tick. He's got vision. He's potential world class in the future. Not this season, but yeah, what a season. So I think he definitely deserves to be in this squad of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a great season. Again, it's difficult to kind of truly rate the Arsenal players because they dominated the league for 80% of the season and then fell off at the end. So it always leaves that kind of sour taste. Do they have the grit to kind of follow things through? But yeah, I think Odegaard, he's got that vision to find the through ball, find the key pass, find the goal, and he makes Arsenal tick. And you got to think as well, he's displaced another promising young star in Arsenal's ranks with Emil Smith-Rowe, where he looked like he was going to be the next big thing for Arsenal, but he's kind of been put on the back burner by Odegaard. So yeah, I think he's a good player. Probably would have put Gundogan in his place. I just think he had more key moments across the season. But yeah, I think he's a great player.
Sure about
FA Cup final, those good. Yeah, I think he scored a run of 10. Was it 10 goals in 10 games or something? Yeah, so he's kind of he came up with lots of big goals towards the end of the season, and then he's got his move to Barcelona as well. So
Yeah, well, I think Odegaard done more in the Premier League. Is inconsistent over the season. I think Gundogan had a good run, like you said, in a few games,
he
and
was
some of that
more of
was the
a
cup.
purple patch towards the end, wasn't it, to help City get over the line. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
cup
kind
and
of
Europe
like
really. So I
it's
think Premier League. If he goes with the Premier League, I think I'd still stick Odegaard over Gundogan.
yeah, okay. And did we
Just
do
based
world class
on
stamp for Odegaard? Does he get it? It's a no from me.
watch his space.
And
It's a watch his space stamp of me.
so that
that.
means
Yeah,
nothing
it's
then.
not.
This
No,
is called
no.
this is called the World Class Stamp channel, not a Watch This Space channel.
Well, to watch his space. Well, obviously.
Just a couple of shout outs to some midfielders that didn't make it in, who equally had some top seasons. So McAllister at Brighton,
Yeah,
we
Alexis.
had a
He had a great season,
great season. Yeah, he did. Won a World Cup, which is your only criteria for
yeah.
stamp, Anton.
It's one of
Uh,
them.
Gumia for Newcastle. He had a decent spell.
Who?
who?
Bruno Guimaraes.
Mares.
Guimaraes, whoever his name is.
Yeah, he did,
Bruno.
but didn't play a little bit of a spell out. I think injured.
He
And
he was a talisman for Newcastle, wasn't he? Yeah, you
yeah,
have to say.
yeah.
So up front, let's start with Mohamed Salah. Another consistent season in Liverpool side that didn't really perform. They kind of tried. They used kick spurts in starts all season, but they didn't really reach the levels that we're used to them for the past few seasons, and didn't really challenge. Disappointingly finishes outside the top four, but Salah, he still scored over 20 goals and was kind of Liverpool's main threat to some kind of emerging youngsters that are kind of trying to make their way into Liverpool's first side after losing Sadio Mane. So for me, yeah, Mohamed Salah gets the world class stamp. He had a great. He was probably Liverpool's key performer, but again, I don't think there's anyone else out there who scored enough goals to kind of dislodge him from team of the season. So for me, it's deserved. And yeah, what are your thoughts, guys, on Mo Salah? So first, Steve, would you want to give your thoughts around Mo?
Yeah, I think my initial thought was this seems a bit of a lazy pick, to be honest, because he certainly wasn't anywhere near the levels he has been at, which is probably not fair on him because he has been at such a high level for such a long time. So we started off average, I think, as did Liverpool, which is probably wrapped up in impacting both the team and him performing. But I think you're right. I think he eventually kicked into gear. He was their go-to guy as he has been the last few seasons. Keeps banging the goals in, and he probably does deserve that spot in that team of the year. Just about, I think there's a few other candidates. I mean, Bukayo Saka at Arsenal, I think, had a tremendous season. He did seemed to tail off a little bit, as did Arsenal towards the end of the season. So I don't know whether the whole short-term memory stuff with these types of picks does play a role in decision making.
As a comparison to Saka, Saka scored 14 goals, Salah scored 19 Premier League goals, so he scored 5 more goals, and obviously Arsenal were, the better performing side, right? So,
What about assists as well? You've deliberately left that out, I think.
the
14 or something. It was quite high, wasn't it? I think.
I would expect Saka to have double Salah, and if I'm wrong, I'll do it. Yeah, I'm wrong.
Oh no
I
no
think
no!
Salah,
Who's gonna volunteer a forfeit there? So what's up?
I think Salah had quite the high assist account this season, didn't he? Actually,
Salah.
I think Saka might have 14 goals.
Yes. So Saka 14 goals, 11 assists. Salah 19 goals, 12 assists.
So I mean, I counter that a little bit with the fact that Salah does play through the middle more than Saka doesn't play through the middle. Salah certainly has more opportunities to play
I
through
don't
the
know.
middle.
Plays off the right really, Salah, unless Liverpool
Yeah,
struggling with injuries. Nunes has kind of been the main down the middle, and then Gakpo was kind of playing down the middle as well. Jota as well, Firmino. There's kind of a fair bit of options down the middle, I think. But he does play the odd game down there. But I think, I think.
yeah. I'd say just to wrap off what I'm saying. I think Salah just about gets it, but it could have been easy to go somewhere else and not think too much about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I keep saying the word definitely tonight, actually. But no, 100% Mo Salah, big guy, is absolute silk on the ball. Straight away with a world-class stamp. Probably one of the best touches in football I've ever seen. Some of the goals he's scored.
Chris,
Mo, yeah,
wow.
he's up there. He's world-class level. He's got his balance, his style. The cop of him. He's an icon at Liverpool, and he's definitely in the squad. Even this season, I think he's carried them towards the end. There's some. They said at the start of the season, "Oh, look, he's not playing well." He wasn't getting the ball much. I think even when Manny was there, it was last season. There was talk of not passing or not receiving the ball to each other, and he still scored 30 goals. 19 goals, 12 assists, fantastic numbers.
Okay then, guys. So moving on then to Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side. Matt, let's just carry on with you. What are your thoughts on Rashford? 17 goals this season, 5 assists, played 35 games. I think this is a bit of a difficult one to judge, but what's your thoughts on Rashford?
Well, he had that purple patch, didn't he? Game after game. Looked like he was going to beat Vardy's record at one stage, I think. Talk about Casemiro, put him into the top 3. That definitely, without those goals, I don't think they would have got there. Like I said, I might have played a 4-4-2, and maybe he may have made way, but we're going for the 4-3-3 anyway. So, amazing season, really. I think he's got to get in just after that run of games, which elevated Man United to the top 4.
Okay, and does he get the stamp?
No.
Okay.
No.
How about you, Steve? Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, a similar one to even more so probably to Salah. I think he had. Well, you couldn't wish for a better purple patch that he had in that period. That, as Matt says, just kept United in the hunt really to where they are now, pushing on. So yeah, top player, scores some great goals. He's clinical. He's direct. He's fast, and he's still young. I want to say. What were we thinking? Is he 20, 25, maybe 26?
I'll find out. But yeah, he's still. I think he's still under 24. So he's not Jesse Lingard young, but he's
he's realizing the potential. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think again, he gets in. I'm struggling to think of apart from the ones I already mentioned. That probably haven't scored as many goals as Rashford. Doesn't get as many assists, but I guess that's not his game. So I guess on the point you were making about Salah, Antonia, I guess Rashford also is deserving of that spot, just about. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a tricky one to judge. Based on the formation, I'd say get in. He's on his days. He's unplayable. But then he goes missing in big games as well. So for me, he doesn't quite get the world-class stamp. but the potential is there if he can find consistency maybe later on in his career. We usually find with forward players, especially ones that kind of start early, this is their peak now. So I don't think he's going to quite reach that world class level. But he does have the potential, but it's whether he kind of realizes that. But he's a great player, and he would definitely be a great squad player for pretty much any team in the world football. So deserved of team of the season. I would probably jig the formation around a bit because I think one glaring omission is Harry Kane from this list. And I would probably put Harry Kane in ahead of Rashford. But yeah, I think Rashford, team of the season, probably the best left-sided midfielder yet. Left-sided winger, striker sort of position, just gone. So up front, this should be a quick one, right? Erling Haaland.
Sorry, I thought you were building up Haaland then to drop him. That's what I thought you were doing.
No.
I thought you moved on to the middle. No, okay.
No, so Rashford is a great player, but he just doesn't quite get it. So
okay,
top of the
it was Rashford. It was Kane not getting in over Rashford. Okay, I thought you were about to drop the next player.
no,
But there we go.
No, you can't drop. Literally a revelation up front. There was comparisons between him and Nunes at the start of the season, and which one was going to come in and do better, and he absolutely blew him out the water. And I didn't think it was a fair comparison to start off with, because there's probably only one other striker that touches Haaland in world football right now, and that's probably Kylian Mbappe. But yeah, Haaland's come in, broke all the records. No one anywhere near him this season. I mean, you could say Harry Kane is his closest rival, but in terms of strikers, he's the complete striker. And yeah, just excited to see what's more come from him. And for me, he gets the world class stamp. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, world class stamp. We say goal scoring record. I was hoping he was going to beat the 40 mark in the Premier League. I hopefully he can go again next season. I think, like you said, younger strikers, they don't realise they're at the peak when they actually are. So if it doesn't happen next season, the 40 goals, I don't think another player will come close, because that's obviously the closest that he's broke the record anyway. But I hope he does do it next season. I think he's got potential to do that. He absolutely gets the stamp. Obviously, what else can you say about him? He's like as Zlatan meets Mbappe meets any other great striker you can think of from history. He's
Henry.
Yeah, meets Henry, Shearer. He's just a mold of these guys in one. And he's
Peter Crouch.
With a height, yeah. Yeah, so no-brainer, straight in.
Okay, and how about you, Steve? Anything more to add on the phenomenal Erling Haaland?
Just the fact that I kind of feel sorry for Harry Kane, really. I think Kane's probably had one of his best seasons. And I hope he goes on to break that all-time scoring record. But Haaland, for the amount of touches he doesn't have in games, and the output goals that he produces is unbelievable. A guy that can literally do nothing for 60, 70 minutes and look a little bit like Bambi, awkward running around, not technically that great, I don't think. I don't think his touch is particularly refined.
My God.
But his ability to just do the basics, stick the ball in the back of the net is
do the basics.
Something that you don't see too often.
Just the basics, 36 goals a season.
World class stamp for me. Sure, and like Matt says, I hope he goes on and does it, because he's certainly got the potential, and he could be up there with all time at his age.
Okay, it's very controversial there, Steve. I didn't realise you were so bitter against Haaland for taking the title away from Arsenal. But there we go. They were our picks. They were our world class stamps. But let us know what your picks are, and leave a comment in below if you think someone should have made Team of the Year or not. Have we missed anyone out that you would have included? If you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping us a like. And if you want to stay tuned for more episodes, consider subscribing to the channel, and you'll be notified when we drop new videos. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.